Hi, I'm Tony Dwyer. Welcome to my channel. I post videos about stuff that I find interesting. I hope you do too. Some of it's lampooning idiocy, some of it's just passing information on, some of it's just for fun. If you like what I do, click a like, maybe even subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. I'm not making any money out of this, trust me. It's not that hard, folks.
It's a standard trope in science fiction that mankind will spread across our galaxy through a great leap forward of faster than light travel, which will enable travel among the stars. Unless we do eventually achieve a way to get round the light speed limit, humanity will most likely be limited to our native solar system. I have no doubt that barring total disaster, humans will eventually colonise all the available real estate in our solar system and will even make some of their own. But living humans will probably not traverse the stars. Journey times will simply be too long, even if we manage to get to a reasonable fraction of light speed. Only closer stars will be available to human lifetime. There are easily identified problems with the time required. One, simply human lifespan and fragility. Two, long-term durability of the ship systems. That would include life support, food supply and waste management. The life support issue is probably going to be the real killer. The initial crew would need to be fairly young, but fully trained in all the skills that will be required at the start of the voyage. Perhaps 25 years old or thereabouts. They will have a functional working life of maybe 50 to 60 years. Some would not last that long. In any large group of people, some will be incapacitated or die through a variety of causes. Health issues, some will probably be injured and killed by accidents. Interstellar journeys that would last for most of the lifetime of the crew would necessarily be one way. It has been suggested that the original crew would produce children who could be trained to take on the role of replacement crew members. I find the idea somewhat distasteful, as the children wouldn't have a choice. So the spacecraft becomes a generation ship. That adds another level of difficulty. Any large group of people will develop frictions over time. Individuals will come to dislike others and each other. Politically motivated groups may arise. Add a significant number of bored, dissatisfied teenagers to the mix, and things will likely go downhill rather quickly. The journey would take several generations to complete. I think the cultural shifts of an unpredictable nature in any group would be likely to occur. Such a crew would need to be large enough for genetic diversity to be sufficient to prevent problems. And I think it's probable that genetic matching would be applied, or need to be applied. That would be a significant cultural change for most people, and probably yet another cause for a source of friction. Such an interstellar ship would need to be large. Consider the problem that ship systems of durability and lifespan. A ship being used for a lifetime or multiple lifetime length journeys would need system reliability that humanity has not so far achieved. Mechanical systems such as valves, pumps, heating, etc., and a host of other things with moving parts and drive mechanisms must not fail, or they must be readily swapped out with replacements or be repaired. That means spare parts and tooling, a lot of spare parts and skilled people. Any metal parts that contact each other in space may be subject to the phenomenon known as vacuum welding and may become stuck together. That can be an issue. Then consider static items such as seals, pipes, windows, etc. I'm as yet unaware of any seal material for vacuums that has been tested to last for over 50 years. Ship systems and a lander to be used at the eventual destination must function correctly at the end of the journey. That's a big ask. Electrical and electronic systems, which would include computers used for a number of functions, must not fail. Presumably spares would be on board or on hand for critical items, requiring more space and mass. But even stored unused items will be aging over time. At the time of recording on a computer, microprocessor systems are still very young. We don't know how long they will stay functional, but I have already had 2 SSD, that's a solid state storage device, drives fail, and they were less than 5 years old. I've seen several laptop computers that haven't lasted that long. Some through system failure, and one I know was killed by being dropped. Accidents happen. The Voyager spacecraft have been travelling for over 40 years, and have only recently stopped communicating with NASA and the world. However, they're very simple in comparison to a huge ship with lots of people on board. Given the difficulties, I suspect a human-crewed sublight interstellar ship is unlikely, though I acknowledge that change in technology and society may change things. I think it's far more likely that robotic ships will be sent out to explore other systems. They will probably have AI-controlled systems. Effectively, they will have AI crews, with some integrated directly with the ship systems, while others can be mobile to perform maintenance and exploration. An AI-crewed ship would be simpler than one designed for humans. They wouldn't need complex life support systems and food supplies. It might be better for the ship to be pressurized and have a non-reactive internal atmosphere, perhaps nitrogen, to minimize corrosion and promote a stable environment. It will be interesting to see how integrated AI crews and systems work together. That's not far off. What is of some concern is the level of self-awareness that the AIs will have, if any. If the AIs had become truly self-aware, why would they bother to cooperate with us? Will they even bother to send back data they had gathered? I think it may be probable or possible that there are already many AI-crewed vessels cruising around the galaxy, completely ignoring protoplasmic life as being irrelevant to them, with maybe a bit of predating on intelligent technological societies for resources. What do you think? It's not that hard, folks.